Okay, hello ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. I thought today we'd do something a little bit different. I was originally planning to actually do like a traditional Battlefield 2042 uninstall stream. I was going to go in there, play the game for a couple of hours, sort of say goodbye to the game. But then I came to the realization that I just didn't really want to play the game. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to go over some important Battlefield 6 news, which I think you guys will appreciate more, and then we're going to do our uninstall of the game. So there you go. There you have it. Give me 1 second here, guys. I got to get my chat sorted so I can see you guys properly. Okay, it's sorted, I think. Welcome in, guys. How are you all doing? What's up, Robin? Greetings from Iceland, man. Late night streams hailing from Asia. Oh, damn, yeah, it's got to be... You guys are way ahead of us over in Asia, right? I think like 10 hours ahead. Why the mortar camera doesn't follow the shell? Oh, like in Battlefield 5? Or, oh no, Battlefield 1, was it, I think? Maybe both. I'm not sure. I suppose it's so you can't see precisely where you're hitting. They've obviously not wanting to make the mortar too powerful in Battlefield 6, which I do think is the great way, the best way forward. I've used it before. It's, you know, it has smoke as well as an explosive shell, so it's really more of a utility thing, even though in reality it's, you know, supposed to really do some serious damage. There's loads of people playing it on Twitch? Wait, what? Is there really? Dude. They must be leaking them, because it's not, as far as I know, like they haven't dropped the embargo for content creators. Because content creators definitely do have access to the game. Oh, they're not, no, they're not playing it. They're like, what, like Tim the Tapman is on at the moment, but it's like just his VODs. He's just playing like VODs of him like playing the game from the beta, I think. Kind of how I've been rotating Battlefield footage, you know, from the beta, because that's all we have to go on currently. I was going to ask, if we uninstall, do we lose any of the unlocks we worked so hard for in the 2042 Battle Pass? No, you won't lose anything, Keaton. And, you know, anything that's for Battlefield 6, you should retain that, of course, because, I mean, after all, that's the reason we were all putting in the big effort. I'm hoping they have enough service, considering everything goes live at once around the world. So from what David Serlin said yesterday, I did mention this in yesterday's video, but basically he said the reason that they did such, you know, extensive testing in the beta was so that these servers would be prepared. And if you played the beta, you'll know that at times there was queues of hundreds of thousands of players. But it sounds like a lot of people, but those were just the queues to log into the game. And once they increased the server capacity for logins, it wasn't really an issue. It would jump from 100k to 50k to 10k, and then, like, you know, within a few seconds you were in. So if you see a number like that pop up on Friday, I wouldn't get too scared. Hopefully their servers are going to be up to scratch. You never know, guys. It may be the first Battlefield game in probably multiple decades that's going to have a solid launch. I never say never. Never say never. You don't know, but it could happen. You are more than welcome, Raphael. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Couldn't do it without you, so cheers for that. Almost at 70k. We're not that far off 70k, yeah. I didn't think we'd be at 70k this soon, but that's certainly welcome. Okay, guys, so for news today, you've probably seen from the thumbnail somewhat and the title of the video, but there is a new Twitch drop campaign out. And in fact, let's just go and take a look at this here. So this is from, officially, you know, from DICE here. And these are going to be running from October the 17th, the 10th till the 17th. As far as I know, anybody who's streaming in the Twitch category can get these. So I will, of course, be streaming on the Friday. I'll be streaming as much as possible over the weekend as well, both here on YouTube and on Twitch. But obviously, if you want to get these rewards, you're going to have to watch on the Twitch side, and that's just the way it is, unfortunately. But this is what you got to do, and this is what you get. So apparently, if you sub to somebody on Twitch, you get this versatile soldier skin. This is apparently an engineer skin. It looks okay. Not going to lie, I don't think it's that impressive, personally. So you guys make up your mind if it's something that you want to grab. I do think these are exclusive, so once this campaign has ended, there probably isn't going to be another opportunity to get these. And you can just watch as well, right? So for 1 hour, you get this tagging along for the ride dog tag. For 2 hours, you get the Cyber War weapon package for one of the shoddies, and then for 3 hours, you get the Green Falcon for one of the attack helicopters. So I suppose, these are... I don't really remember what we had in the beta. There was a bunch of drops there as well, right? And I think most of us got those. I certainly did. I can't really remember what they are now because they only apply to the Battlefield 6 full game, and we obviously don't have access to it yet. There's a guy streaming Battlefield 6 on YouTube right now. Yeah, well, we are going to be going over some leaks, guys, because basically what I've learned is that content creators, obviously not me, but, other content creators, they have access to the game, and they've had access to the game for almost a week. And it seems one of those content creators has just taken a liberty and broken embargo early, and he's put up footage of the menus and everything. So we're going to take a look at some of that stuff together in a second here. I really hate the sub one. It would be better if it was watch hours for 4 hours. Yeah, I totally get that. Like, I guess they're trying to make people support streamers, so there's something in it for the streamer. I would never recommend somebody to sub. If that's a large amount of money for you to sub to somebody, keep your money. If that's more important. Unfortunately, that means you are, I think, gonna lose out on that cosmetic. But I'm not gonna lie, guys, it's not that great a cosmetic. So I personally wouldn't lose any sleep over it. It's not a big deal. Thank you guys so much for the follow over on the Twitch side. Really appreciate that. Hey guys, watched all of your videos in the past 2 months. Very helpful quality content. Thanks, man. You're welcome, Divine. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you guys so much. They're incentivizing streamers to play too with a sub reward. Yeah, that's true. I mean, they do. It goes both ways, right? They need people to play the game and stream the game to really get it out there. I don't think they're going to have any problems with exposure for this game. I'm very curious to see what numbers we're going to see on Friday, in terms of player numbers on Steam and in terms of viewers on Twitch and all of that sort of stuff. Delete that garbage and forget about it. Yeah, Battlefield 2042 is definitely getting deleted. Ghost, you bought a physical copy on console? No. I didn't buy a physical. I bought on Steam, in fact, for the first time. So, yeah, no more shitty EA app for me, boys. I'm finally free of it. Will Amazon Prime subs count towards unlocking the skin? Pretty sure they will. In fact, you know what? They have a pretty, a hefty FAQ here that I figured we may as well have a bit of a peruse through. So let's take a look at this. Oh dear, Lopper's not happy though, apparently. Okay, following the enthusiasm for our Twitch drop campaign at the Battlefield 6 multiplayer reveal and the open beta, we're excited to bring them back and deliver new content to our creators and community at launch, including a new item delivered for supporting your favorite creator. So to earn these Twitch drops, you should first make sure your EA and Twitch accounts are linked here. And this leads to... Okay, my account is linked, so there you go. You just link your account there. Then, during Battlefield 6's launch week, so that's from October the 10th, this Friday, until the 17th, head to your favorite creator streaming Battlefield 6 to unlock a weapons package, a soldier skin, and more. Once you complete the Twitch drop objective with your linked account, claiming it on Twitch before logging into Battlefield 6 to receive your reward. So it seems like you can just watch anybody. They're not flagging specific creators, so I should be able to do it as well, which is nice. Each of the 4 Twitch drops for Battlefield 6's launch weekend is grounded in a classic military style. The versatile soldier skin inspired by woodland operations can be yours by subscribing or gifting a subscription to the community of an eligible channel between October the 10th and 17th. So that actually might be a way for anybody out there who doesn't want to subscribe to somebody. If you are in a channel and somebody just happens to randomly gift you one, then you should get a skin as well. So there you go. All other Twitch drops can be unlocked through watching any Battlefield 6 Twitch stream. In addition to the olive green falchion vehicle skin and the cold shotgun dog tag. You can also unlock the cyber war weapon package. Okay, this kidnapped shotgun, which includes several attachments built around precise close quarters engagement, is a great option in the assault class's extra weapon sling, which I don't like, or as a primary weapon for any class. Okay. You will also receive the Battlefield 6 chat badge, apparently, as well, if you do this, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, watch 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, we already know that. Completed drops will appear in your drops inventory, we all know how drops work. Offer applicable to purchase of 1 new subscription or gift subscription of any tier on any live channel on twitch.tv, streaming in Battlefield 6 category. Eligible subscriptions include new monthly subs, any tier, multi-month subs, so, 3 or 6 months, gift subs, any tier for any amount, Prime, there you go, and existing recurring subscriptions are... Wait, Prime and existing recurring subscriptions are not eligible? What? Dude, that's kind of shitty, Dice. That's kind of crappy, man. That surprises me. I was about to say, there you go, it's confirmed, but then I read the end of the sentence, I was like, what? They're actually not including that? That's questionable, I would say, because I know a lot of people just like to have their Prime sub, they sub to one person for the month and they're done. Maybe there's some technical reason behind this, guys. I don't know what's going on with that one there. I'm doing well, Chariot. How are you, man? Prime is going to get baited. They certainly are. Like, people are going to be pissed about that, though. If you subscribe to just to get this skin, like, to some specific channel and it doesn't work, like, now you've spent money to get something and gotten nothing. So that's, like, that is going to be a problem. I suppose they can always say, oh, you should have read the FAQ, but let's be honest, how many people are actually going to read this? See, I've got you guys covered, though. You still have time to earn the pre-order rewards. Oh, of course, yeah. These are the ones you're getting for the pre-order, so if you haven't yet, you can do that. I would normally say don't pre-order the game, but in this special case, I would actually say you're pretty safe to pre-order. I mean, people who don't want to pre-order, I get it. We've been burnt before, but I think it's fairly safe at this point. Like, I've pre-ordered at least, from what I've played in the beta, it's the only way they can fuck this up is if the servers just don't work. That's pretty much the only way. I am a cook. Thank you very much for that, James. Appreciate it. Nice to see you too. Will settings from the beta carry over to the game? I'm going to try this. Obviously, I can't boot up the game, but what I think you'll be able to do is go into Documents and just copy your settings folder from the beta to the base game. We'll check that out in a second. So yeah, we all know what the pre-order skins are here. Yada, yada, yada. Let me see if I can figure this out, in fact. So I still have my Battlefield 6 Open Beta settings folder here. But I do not seem to have a Battlefield 6 folder yet in Documents. Could it be that it's in a different location for Steam, though? Versus the EA app. That could also be the case. Let me see. Steam. Battlefield 6. The folder is empty, so it's not even like actually extracted into Steam yet because it's not gone live. So I'm not sure you'll be able to do it now, but maybe on the day once it's live, that may be worth doing. Like, go to the beta, save your settings folder onto your desktop, and then maybe the folder will appear in Documents and you can just drag it in there. I will give you guys a bit of a heads up though that during the labs testing, I don't think I'm really like breaking any leaks with this or any NDAs or anything, but I had to at some point switch from the EA client to the Steam client of Battlefield Labs. And when I did that, I tried moving my settings over and it didn't work. And that was between obviously Steam and EA. So it depends, like, if you play the beta on one platform and you're switching to the other. If it's the same platform, maybe it's going to work. I think we'll just have to try it out. Yeah, what's up, Glue? Welcome, bud. Okay, let's, with that said, jump in some of the leaks here then, because I see people asking about this. So, this one is apparently of the Battlefield 6 menu here. So let's take a look. I know the quality is kind of shit. It's Reddit. I can't really do much about it. So here we've got player cards. Pretty expected, I guess. You know, that came in, what, with like Battlefield 2042. So you do have some stats displayed here as well. I like that. By the way, whoever this content creator is here, he's screwed. But I guess he doesn't really care. Here you've got a whole section of dog tags too. So it seems like you've got like certain challenges that you have to do to unlock these ones. Be the first in your squad to kill an enemy in any mode. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, these are... Okay, these are badges. So these are the mastery badges. So yeah, you've got bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and then elite. Actually, there's a new... There's like a new tier now. And that actually is the elite one now is like the highest one. That's basically like a tier 1 from Battlefield 2042. It's still red though. So I don't know what you need to do to get these mastery badges. I'm assuming you just have to use the weapon. So they've kind of changed this. You'll remember from the beta, right? They had the bulletin where you get news and stuff like that. I think they had the recommended section, and then there was just like multiplayer. Now, of course, you've got training grounds, which are like tutorials for the game. It's not what you think. It's not an actual test range, unfortunately. I haven't seen a vehicle test range either, guys, but that is sorely missing in my opinion. That needs to be in there. Then you've got the campaign, of course, and they've still got this like Netflix-y kind of tile system where you scroll up or down for the sections there on the left, and then you go left and right to select your playlist. And you're going to notice in playlists here, take note, right, what we've got. We've got custom search, attack and defend, which is going to be like breakthrough in game mode similar to that. You've got CQB lockdown, not quite sure what that one is. Then we've got escalation. Then we've got conquest, breakthrough, all-out warfare, and in the 8th position, all the way, almost at the end, there's finally closed weapon, all-out warfare. So, nice of them to give closed weapons a nod. And then, oh, sorry, okay, the very last one there is CQB attrition. So, they've pretty much shoved the closed... Like, nobody is going to that closed weapon playlist, dude. And... those of you who've been keeping up with the news will know that DICE seem to be sort of, well, in my opinion, kind of a bit biased with their stats. They're trying to manipulate things in their favor to get what they want and push their agenda, which is, of course, open weapons. And I think this is just another indication of that. Soon enough, they're probably just going to phase out this closed weapons tile entirely, saying, oh, well, nobody played it. Yeah, no surprises there, mate. It's in 8th position all the way at the end. I wish I could say I'm surprised, but I'm just not. That being said, I don't care that much. I'm going to play the game. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to use the open weapons. Like, it is what it is. I do think, personally, the game would be better with closed weapons. I think the classes would be a little bit more unique, but it's just funny. It's just funny because they're kind of, like, gaslighting the community into, like, oh, you want this? And then they're like, oh, but look at the stats, guys. Look, you actually don't want this. And we're like, what? DICE. Just don't even try it, man. Okay. Anywho, let's not get into that rabbit hole because we've been there before. How do you bias the stats? Okay, so I know I said we wouldn't get down the rabbit hole, but now somebody's asked. So for those who weren't in the open beta, they basically offered both open weapons and closed weapons, sort of saying, oh, well, you guys want closed weapons, let's put it in the beta and see, which you prefer. The problem is there was only like one or two of these tiles that had closed weapons. All the others were open. And at the start of the beta, it was hidden, right? It wasn't even in the first four. All of these first four here were with open weapons. The closed weapons one was off to the side of the screen. Most players are not going to search that far, right? Your cursor ends up, it just starts as default on the left of the screen here. Sorry, I'm not even showing you guys this. It starts off a default on the left of the screen, and that's where people are going to click. And then they've basically come out and said, well, you know, more people preferred open weapons to closed weapons, and it seems like it wasn't really a fair test. They have said they've normalized it for like where the tile was in the game, but I just don't really buy it, man. And I don't mind if they come out right and just say, like, look, guys, we're making the game and we want to put open weapons in the game, and that's what we're going to do. Deal with it. Like, that's fine. Like, if they just said that, I'd be like, okay, whatever. Like, that's your decision. I just don't like it when they try to, like, gaslight me into, like, oh, this is what you want. This is what the community... And I'm like, dude. Anywho, moving on from that. Yeah, we haven't looked at this yet. Anyway, we've got some screenshots here, which may be better. There are challenges up here in the top right, you'll notice as well. So here we've got time spent capturing or contesting objectives in escalation. I don't know how often these are going to change. I think it's probably going to be like daily missions. There will be a whole challenges tab up there, just like in the beta. Here we have the actual server browser. And in fact, here, I missed this one. Like, he is on the community tab here. So the community tab has basically taken over from Portal. Those of you who played Battlefield 2042, it was called Portal there. And you've got your own experiences. And then it seems like it's going to highlight, you know, certain experiences that people have made. So, like, if you've made some experience and it happens to be quite popular, it has a chance of appearing down here, which I think is a nice addition. You know, you are going to be able to get there fairly easily. It's right underneath multiplayer, so hopefully some more people will discover that, and that will lead to people making more cool things. And this is what the actual server browser looks like then, if you go in there. So you do have filters, apparently. There is like a sort system as well. Other than that, it seems like pretty, you know, rudimentary. You can put your description in there. It's not like a far cry from what we saw in Battlefield 2042. And then here we have the custom search. This was, of course, in the beta, right? So you can put in, I want to play this map, I want to play this game mode, hit search, and it will try and find that for you. Whether you're going to end up with open weapons or closed weapons, I don't know, because it doesn't seem to appear like you can't tick open or closed weapons. You can just choose mode and map. So I would guess it's probably going to be open. Don't trust any statistics that you haven't falsified yourself. The UI looks similar to 2042. Yeah, it does. Heavily inspired, I would say. Haha, matching. Enjoy your SBMM. Battlefield is back, boys. I don't think there is going to be heavy SBMM. I mean, I can't say I experienced that in the beta. I don't know about you all, but yeah, skill-based matchmaking. There is some in there because they need to balance the team. So they have said they do that. You know, if you've got 10 cracked players, they try to put 5 on each team instead of 10 on one team, which I do think makes sense. But outside of that, I found that all my matches were pretty fair, and I did use that search functionality. Anyway, here we've got the stats page, which we saw there a bit before as well. This is the class selection in-game. So this looks pretty much the same as in the open beta. I can't really notice, like, this panel here is new that shows you, you know, the gadget that you've got equipped, or your class gadget, and then your proficiency. But apart from that, it looks pretty damn similar. I still wish they would have changed the icons for the classes. They really, like, they must have paid somebody serious money to craft these icons, and they're like, no, we're not going back on those. Maybe it's me, but I do not like the abstract icons. Again, huge nitpick there, but do the badges and stats mean badges are coming back? Well, badges are coming back in the way of like mastery badges for weapons, which is basically the new like mastery thing. It's the same from Battlefield 2042, really, though. You know, the more kills you get with a gun, at least I think so, the more you level it up, and likely once you hit whatever, however many kills it is, 3,000, 4,000 kills, then you get a skin for the gun. Those of you without kids, I hope you go hard on launch day. Well, I'm going to be going hard even with kids. Because they're not here. They will be at their mum's place. So I have actually the whole weekend pretty much free, luckily. Here's gun customization. So again, looks pretty similar. I think the menus could actually use a bit of work. Like, I felt like I was having to click too many times. There were too many sub-menus to get where I wanted to go. Once I realized with the weapons, you could just right-click on the gun, and then you would go straight into customization. That was a lot better, but it still isn't, you know, too user-friendly. You'll have 3 hours on Friday night. Well, 3 hours might be all I last for, Moose, because, you know, I'm no spring chicken anymore. I'll have worked the whole week. I've been to the gym and that, so probably when I'm done streaming for 3 hours, I'll be pooped, man. Gym streams when? That's a good question. I'm not sure I would want to take my stuff to the gym with me, you know. Dude, I can't figure out how the hell to do this. That's why I'm taking a second here. I'm lost in the chat. Let's see if this works. Maybe that worked. I don't know. Anywho, where were we? Oh yeah, you'll notice this as well. Because the creators only have themselves to play amongst, a lot of the time the servers are being populated with bots. So bots are going to be in the game. As far as I know, they're only going to come into the servers if there aren't any players in there. I am fairly confident there will be plenty of players playing this game, so you guys should never ever see bots. I've also seen, though, from creator tests, that the bots are not labeled. Like, they don't have the little AI tag at the end of their name, which I don't really like. I prefer it when they're labeled, but they do have very obvious names. They're all called Lieutenant John or, you know, I don't know, Major this or whatever. Like, they've all got, like, actual army names. Can't wait for Platoons returning. Oh, me and you both, man. The Ghost Gaming Platoon is coming back for sure. I miss it so much. Ghost, you go on the Battlefield subreddit, it can be so negative. I do, yes. I spend far too much time there, in fact. And you're right, it is very negative, but there's also a lot of interesting information to be found. Like this. So these are some of the challenges for weapons. And here we've got inflict close quarters damage while hip firing with assault rifles, and then also get kills with the SOR 556 or the MVO 228. So what you unlock is, like here it says rank over 23. Does that mean you need to be over rank 23 to complete this challenge? Like what exactly do you get for it? There's also this, or these couple of tabs here on the left side, you'll notice. One of them says 1, one of them has a 7. Is this like how many days you have left to complete those challenges? Maybe we're going to get weekly challenges, daily challenges. The FOMO's really going to hit in hard for this game. Please spare a thought for guys like me who are working the weekends. Alright guys, let's have a moment of silence for Rogue Clanny. For all the weekend heroes. Okay, there you go. There's your respect, dude. Here we've got vehicle customization for the tanks. I think we've all seen these shells, but just to run over them quickly, you've got multi-purpose, and then you've got the HE rounds. I think these ones are here. Then we've got anti-personnel. No, this must be armor piercing, right? Judging by the icon. I thought they were HE in the beta. Anyway, I digress. Anti-personnel, that looks like kind of the canister round. Oh, here's high explosive. I think we did have high explosive in the beta, but they just gave it us here. And then there's this one, which I'm very excited to get. Aim guided. So some of you may have seen footage of this, but it's basically like a tow missile, but it's a tank shell. It looks ridiculously overpowered. So just wait. When everybody unlocks this, it's going to be fun. By the way, this is probably going to rub a lot of people the wrong way because it kind of did me. But I've heard that all of the content creators who are playing the game at the moment for the past week, they are not going to have their progress reset. So you can imagine that they've probably gotten every weapon in the game unlocked. They've probably got all the unlocks for every vehicle. And on day one, they are going to have these things available. So when you're running around with your, like, you know, little starter gun, they're going to have possibly the best assault rifle in the game. Now, is that going to matter? I don't think so. There's the chances of you running into one of these content creators isn't huge, but it just seems kind of ridiculous to me. Like, any programs like that I participated in for other games, you always get like a separate server for the content creators, and then they wipe it for the release of the game, so everybody just has like a fresh slate, you know. What the fuck is like with the chat at the moment, man? Like, what is going on? I have no idea. Ghost, do you think that the supposed naval combat will be similar to Battlefield 1? I mean, I hope it's going to be like Battlefield 4. That will be a lot better, in my opinion. I haven't really played much Battlefield 1, so I'm not sure what the naval combat was like there. But Battlefield 4 was really the sweet spot to me. I don't care about how much stuff other people have. No, like I said, I think it's not really going to make much of a difference. So here we've got the attack heli. I've heard, by the way, I don't know if this is correct, but I've heard that the jets in the game don't have any loadouts. Like, you get the attack jet and you get the fighter jet, and they have certain bombs, and that's just how they're configured, and you can't change anything. Like, there's nothing to unlock. I don't know if there's anything to that, so like hold your judgment until Friday, but don't be super surprised either. Yeah, no worries. It's kind of annoying. Like, I really do have a nice chat moderation tool here. Unfortunately, chat moderation on YouTube is terrible compared to Twitch chat moderation. So you gotta go and like find your separate chat to ban people in it. It's kind of a pain in the ass. I can see stuff like that added later on. Yeah, I think we are going to see a lot of really, really cool stuff added. Like, I basically called that Little Bird will be coming in one of the seasons because it's just going to be like solid content, you know. Same thing with naval combat, right? If you've got a naval combat focused season for the game, that's just going to be incredibly popular, you know. 1 map, 2 maps, yeah, it's probably going to bring some people back who stopped playing the game, but to bring back, you know, that plus naval warfare is going to do a lot more. Guys, there's no Twitch drops. To be clear, there are no Twitch drops right now. Twitch drops are starting on Friday. But they will be live on the Twitch channel then. I found you looking for Battlefield content. I believe I'm one of a lot of COD players that like DMZ and bailed from COD and pre-ordered Battlefield 6. Yeah, I think a lot of people are where you are, mate. Like, I've heard apparently that many have decided they're not going to really play Black Ops 7 this year. Yeah, the cat's going nuts, dude. Like, she's just... It's windy outside, so there's leaves blowing past the window there. And we've just had new windows put in, so there's no blinds. And every time a leaf flies past, she's going bonkers. Yeah, it's on Friday. It's going to be for an entire week, so you should be good to get those. I'll be streaming all weekend, both here on Twitch and YouTube. Do we know what the drops will be? We do indeed. Did I still have this open? Here you go, just for the people who have joined the chat now. These are the drops. Unfortunately, one of them, you have to sub to somebody. I mean, unfortunately for you, fortunately for me, obviously. But I get it. Like, would I sub to somebody for this skin, which is kind of a leafy green kind of camo? I don't know. Maybe. If you're gonna sub to somebody anyway, it's like, hey, I may as well, right? But if you're just subbing solely to get that,
Menson is the real deal?
then maybe not.
They're like a wild card in a poker game, unpredictable and full of surprises. Gifting that sub is like tossing a lit match into a powder keg. Boom! Instant chaos in the best possible way. I'm walking here. Zeech and just made Ghost Gaming GG's stream a carnival of madness.
My God.
Keep your stick on the ice and watch the chaos unfold. I love you.
Thank you so much for that one. Appreciate it. He really could not handle your name there. He definitely got tripped up on that. But there you go. Congratulations, Fakeman64 with the gifted sub there, dude. I don't think it's going to work until Friday, though. So you'll have to get another one now. Those are the Twitch alerts, guys. I may or may not be mid-alert. Some of you who watch the YouTube, or hopefully most of you who watch the YouTube, will know that I've gotten like new artwork and stuff on there, like a new intro, a new outro. There are new things coming for the stream as well, but I haven't managed to get somebody to do it yet. So like the YouTube kind of took priority. Stream stuff will be coming next. So yeah, at the moment, you guys are just gonna have to put up with some interesting sub alerts. Is there any chance they drop the game a day early? I don't think so. I think they need their servers prepared. Ghost, did you know Battlefield Friends is possibly coming back for Battlefield 6? I think I saw that, yeah. I think I saw like a post from them on their YouTube. It makes sense, right? Because they did kind of try to kickstart things for Battlefield 2042. They did a few episodes there.
Tier 1.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gentcore. Appreciate that, dude. You know, and then they kind of stopped. Understandably so, right? Battlefield 2042 flopped, so I get it. There weren't many people playing that game. Battlefield 6, though, is going to be insane, I think. It's going to be very popular, so that does not surprise me at all that they're getting it on the action, so to speak. Let me see here. There were a couple more leaks for us to go over. Okay, what is this one here? This is gun customization. So here are some of your stickers. So you guys know what to expect. What was that one there? All good. It kind of reminds me of, you know, really old Disney days. Okay, here we got charms. Batman. And here we've got some skins. This should be interesting. Okay, let's see if we've got anything goofy. I don't think they're going to risk putting any goofy shit in the game right on day one. These all look pretty standard camos here. Like, you can't really see what they look like, though, because he's not letting them render in. He keeps flicking through them too fast. Oh, there we go. Yeah, let's go down to the bottom of the list. Down to the good ones. What was there? Yeah, we have got some red ones here, some sort of tiger stripe type ones. There's nothing too crazy that I've seen, so that should please most people, I think. What's going to be in the store, though? I don't know. So this is the training grounds. Now we can see what that tab looks like. So from people clicking on this, I think, yeah, he actually clicks this one here. Yeah, so if you click server hosting, it just pops up with this and says, oh, this is how you host a server. So even though it's called training grounds, it's not really like you're going into a, you know, a training ground and doing that. It's just like some little tabs that you can click on there. So it's not going to be a test range or a vehicle test range or anything like that, unfortunately. Yeah, what's up, guys? Welcome in, welcome. No guns with roller coasters on. I'm out. I saw that one. Like, what the hell, man? Crazy. How you doing, Gene? You excited, man? Cat is here.
Ghost, what's your opinion on Battlefield 4's carrier assault, and what would you like to be changed or different if it returned to Battlefield 6?
Well, first of all, thank you for the $5, man. Appreciate that. What's my take on carrier assault? I like carrier assault in Battlefield 4, but I actually think it was better in Battlefield 2142. I don't know how many people in here played that game, but it came from that game. So the way it worked there was it was a futuristic Battlefield game, obviously set in the year 2142, and you would have these APCs that had these launch pods, and they would launch you up into the air, and the carrier was a flying spaceship. So you had to, yeah, the Titan mode, exactly. Thanks, Dark Thunder.
Daydream Nation just subscribed at tier 1.
Thank you so much for the sub. So you had to land on this ship in the sky, and then you would get inside there, you know, take out the MCOMs. I think you also had to take down some shield generators, and they tried to capture that in Battlefield 4, where it was an aircraft carrier on the water, and instead of flying up there, you then took like a rib boat over there across the water, which I didn't think was as interesting. Now, obviously, they can't really put that in the game with flying ships and stuff because it's maybe a little bit too futuristic for this game, but I did think it was a really interesting game, and it's kind of surprising to not see it already be back in there. As for what I'd want to see change with it, I mean, I thought it was just very good as is. Maybe the player sizes need to be tweaked a lot. It seems with Battlefield 6 that they've tried to reduce player sizes overall. I mean, obviously they've gone to, 64 player over 128, but I mean in general, like Rush is now, what is it, 12 versus 12 is Rush? I can't remember.
M4 aside, will there be any M16s?
What? Thanks for the $2, Ronaldo. Appreciate that. Will there be any M16s? Ah, okay. I get it. There was a spelling error there. Rip. I don't know. I haven't actually looked at all the weapons in the game, but I would assume so, yes. Like, I've only really, seen the guns from the beta, and I'm also not a huge, weapon nerd. So when they give all of the weapons different names, like they have to do for whatever reason, I don't really know exactly what weapon it's based on. Some of them I'm familiar with, like I know what an MP5 looks like, I know what an MP7 looks like, but when it comes to assault rifles, they all kind of look, some of them a bit similar to one another, so I can't just go, oh, that's like this IRL gun, whereas a lot of people can. There is no M16 right now. Okay, a couple of people saying that in chat, so people who know more about guns than I do probably are correct there. The biggest issue with BF6 is the map design. They didn't learn enough with the last few 2042 maps like Reclaimed on. I mean, we'll have to see what all of the maps play like, but I didn't hate the maps in the beta. I think Liberation Peak needed some work, and in Breakthrough and Rush, they needed some work, but I really just enjoyed the maps. I wasn't blown away, in that sense, like I have been with some maps in past Battlefield games, but it's going to be interesting, I think, to see which maps prevail and become the popular ones, because that's something that happens in every game, right? You get, the top 2 or 3 maps, you see servers pop up that run, those maps like Operation Locker or whatever. But then again, I didn't like Operation Locker too much, but it was, huge in Battlefield 4. People were just running lockers all the time, 24/7. Good evening, Michael.
What are your thoughts on them combining the medic and support class into one?
Medic and support in one? I think support is a bit too good right now. That's part of the reason behind it. And it also feels like assault is maybe a little bit lackluster because they've lost the heals. A lot of people want to see the heals on support, on the assault class. I still think Assault with heals, and especially if they had the defibs, would be also too overpowered. So, like, I get why they took it from the Assault class, but they've also given the support class the Smoke Grenade. They're now the only class that has access to the Smoke Grenade. Most of the grenades, except for the Frag, are class unique. So that pretty much means for me that I'm just going to play support, especially with open weapons, because now I can just take an assault rifle. As support, I've got my smoke. I've pretty much got the assault sort of build that I want, right? Because I've got myself healing, I can revive people, I can lay down smoke, and that's the kind of role I want to play. So yeah, I would say that support is definitely going to be the most played class in the game. Five classes and 5 people per squad would have worked. Yeah, I think it could have done. I think they could have split the classes up maybe a little bit. Do you need to sub to a stream to get one of the rewards? Yeah, you will have to sub to any Twitch stream who is streaming Battlefield 6 in the category. Don't do it now, though. I mean, you can if you want to support me that way, but do it on Friday once the drops have opened up. Once the drops are live, I will have like a timer in the chat, and it will be, you know, informing you, and it'll be in the description and everything, so you guys know when that will be happening. Ghost, you can see people's levels on the leaderboard. Leaks confirmed it. You mean in Battlefield 6 right now? Like, as in the content creators who are playing? Yeah, I don't know, Kenjin. I'm not really behind smoke being restricted either. I feel like if you're going to have any grenades that are universal across all the classes, sure, it should be the frag grenade, but I think it should also be the smoke grenade. Smoke is incredibly important, and if anything, Battlefield players need more encouragement to use more smoke in objective-based games, you know, like linear game modes like Breakthrough and Rush and whatnot, because sometimes, like, we've all been there, you've got a team, nobody uses smoke, and it doesn't go very well most of the time for your team. So that's, you know, going to disencourage people to use smoke, I think. What do I think of all the COD players moving into Battlefield? I mean, I think it's great. You know, the more the merrier is what I would say about that. I know some people have reservations that they're going to come in and, you know, maybe change the game somewhat, but I think DICE know what they have, you know, and they want to keep it that way.
Will it be bot maps as in BF 2042 where you are solo versus bots only? Haven't seen that anywhere. Thoughtful face emoji.
Thank you, Gene, for the 50, man. Appreciate that. Will it be bot mats so like we can only go versus bots? I haven't seen that either, no, but I've actually been asked that a few times because people want that, and I think they do actually need that in. You know, without a test range, like for vehicles, they need a place where people can jump in a helicopter or a jet and they can fly around and go up against bots, because if not, what you're going to see is people taking off in helicopters and jets and ramming straight into the cliff. So that should be fun. Yeah, I guess you could make it in Portal, for sure. But how many people are actually going to do that? Like, how many people are going to go to Portal and make their own experiences? I'm not sure. Okay, there is one last thing I did want to go over with you guys here. Some new gameplay, in fact. Don't worry, by the way, for anybody who missed the news in this stream earlier, it is going to be going up on YouTube as soon as we're done, so you will be able to go back. In fact, you can even go back now if you want, because YouTube is king in that regard. So, shout out to Mr. Battlefield Bulletin. He posted this gameplay, and this has a few little teasers from the single player. So, there's no spoilers here, by the way, if you don't want to get spoiled. Like, I don't want to get spoiled. This doesn't really show you much, though. But let's take a look at this.
Won't be long before this place goes up.
This is just an NVIDIA trailer. So I think we saw a few new shots there, like from the single player campaign. This map here is obviously like almost a carbon copy of what is it called? Shoot House or something from Call of Duty, from Modern Warfare. Yeah, this particular house looks really cool. I haven't seen this anywhere. I hope this is going to be actually in the multiplayer as well. Clean House, that's the one, yes. So this has basically come out of Nvidia because obviously they're trying to, like, you know, push their graphics cards on people. I got a 5090, and they're talking about, like, insane performance. Bear in mind, this is with frame gen. And this is almost certainly with 4 times frame gen. In fact, there are a few charts down here. So this is, you know, they're crafty. Like, they say DLSS 4. Like, nowhere here does it say this has frame gen. If you go look down here in the corner, it, you know, defines what DLSS 4 means. And for them, it means multi-frame gen on 4X and super resolution on the transformer there. On performance mode, no less. So if you have this like DLSS on performance, not quality, performance, you can get this insane performance. This is the laptop one as well. Actually quite impressive though. Frame gen or not. So this right here is... Yeah, this was 1440... No, this is only 1080p in fact. 750 FPS? That's insane, dude. Yeah, this is 1440p. So this would be my situation. Like, I have this card. I have this exact CPU. I don't have this much RAM. I don't think that'll make a difference, though. I did try out frame gen. I think I put it on 2x in the beta. And it was actually okay. Like, the thing with frame gen is that it's going to increase your input latency. But I did have, you know, a counter on screen for that. And because the frame rate is already very, very high to begin with, 2 times frame gen actually didn't really introduce any significant input lag for me at all. But I still felt like the base frame rate was perfectly adequate for me regardless. But I think if you're on a 5070 or like a 70 Ti, then maybe 2 times frame gen is gonna make sense for you. And I think this is just like a summary of what they showed in the slides there. So we don't need to read all of this. But performance looks good. Like, I don't remember. Like I said, I tried the frame gen in the beta. I don't remember. Wait, that's 4K. I don't have 4K. That's a weird resolution. 2560 by 1600. Oh, that's a laptop resolution. Okay, that makes sense. This one here. I didn't remember getting like this many frames though. So I think they have done some work to probably optimize things even further for the main release of the game, which is kind of cool. I just wish they optimized the CPU performance because many were CPU bottlenecking during the beta. Yeah, I mean, that was for me as well, right? Like, that's the thing. The graphics card doesn't really matter as much because I was not even maxing out my card, right? It's the CPU that, you know, is kind of the bottleneck, and that just goes for Battlefield games on the whole. You must be dumb AF to use frame gen on Battlefield 4 with crazy input latency. On Battlefield 4, I don't think anyone needs that on Battlefield 4. Like, that game is easy to run, right?
Mason the Media Guy just subscribed at Tier 1.
Thank you so much, Mason. Appreciate that, bud. And for the follow. Thank you guys so much for all the follows on the Twitch side, by the way. And for anyone who's subscribed on YouTube. I don't have the subscription alerts on because you guys would be, like, mega spammed, I think, just because there's people on other videos and that. But if you did subscribe, you're appreciated. Jack Frank's working hard on the game. Working hard on BF7, man. 3090, 9700K, and 16 gigs of RAM. With Discord, I get lags. Discord is actually surprisingly taxing on your system, though. Like, if I have Discord open on a second screen and I'm in a chat with somebody, it is surprisingly laggy. Like, obviously, like on my rig, I can do it. But I remember on my older system, which still had a 3080 Ti in there, you know, I got problems with Discord. So much so that I would actually have to like minimize it off my second screen. So it may appear to be this kind of lightweight program, but it's honestly not. Battlefield 6 frame gen felt like there was a lot of delay even with the 5080. Did it really? Okay. So if you go in the console and you do like the, what is it, perf dot overlay draw FPS, whatever the console command is to show the FPS, I think it should show latency there as well, like at a hardware level. So if you turn frame gen on, I think it shows those differences. And yeah, that's the one, Jesse, thanks. You know, for me, I can't recall the exact numbers, but I don't think it increased that much at all. But, you know, it's something that's up for everybody. You know, single-player games, I do play a lot of the time with 2x frame gen, and maybe I'm just not a good enough player. Maybe my skill is just not high enough for me to be like, oh, this is affecting my game. But a lot of the time will play single players with, you know, 2x frame gen, and I flicked it back and forth, and like, I can't really tell a difference. I really feel like a lot of the GPU reviewers, when the 5000 series came out, they kicked up a big fuss about it, and I get why. It's because Nvidia was sort of saying, oh, look at this insane performance. It matches like these previous generation cards, but they weren't telling the whole story right. They were saying it was with frame gen. So I understand it to a degree, but they all kind of slated frame generation as this like terrible option that you should never use. But my experience of using it is that it's actually quite impressive. Do you know if I play on controller on PC, will I be matched with other controller people? I don't think there is input-based crossplay. I think it's only platform-based. So you can say, I want to play consoles, but like you could use, presumably, a mouse and keyboard on like a PlayStation or an Xbox. I don't know. I'm like, am I bullshitting here, guys? Actually, it's hard to recall. It's been a while since I covered that one. But off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure it's platform-based crossplay. So you can say I want to play with console people. I don't think it's only input-based. I could be wrong. Yeah. No worries, Pac Limo. What happened to how much better controllers are at FPS? I mean, are they though? I'm useless with controllers in FPS, guys. I can't get a kill to save my life. I tried, I think, installing like the Battlefield 6 beta on my PS5 over there. It was terrible. Yo, nice, Gene. Good to see you on the Twitch side as well, there, man. Man, I really can't wait until the Battle Royale comes out. A lot of people like are skeptical about Battle Royale, which is fair because like people are like, I don't care about Battle Royale. I just want to play, you know, Battlefield 6 multiplayer. I can't really talk about it, but I have played it in labs, and I think for people who are like, I think for people like me, is that a Wookiee? That is a Wookiee. What the hell is going on, man? Like, I can't actually see this, but I'm hearing the Wookiee right now. What is he saying, guys? This has to be a gifted sub, though. Oh my god. Thank you, False Flash, for the gifted there. Appreciate that. So I have no idea what he said, though, unfortunately, but I'm sure it was extremely respectful towards you, as they usually are. Dude, what was I even talking about? Yeah, right. So for people like me who don't really care about Battle Royale, and I was skeptical of it, I was like, oh, like, who cares? I'm just going to say, I think you'll enjoy it. I'll say that. I'll say I think you'll enjoy it, at least if you've got some friends to play with. Jesus Christ is king. Yeah, I guess. I can't fault you there. I thought Battle Royale should be 128 players for the nostalgia. Now, I think it's only 100. I mean, 100's enough, right? The thing is, the nostalgia is... I don't know how many guys here know where Battle Royale comes from, but I actually recently watched the movie. Like, it's from a 2001 Japanese cult classic called Battle Royale, where they've got these 100 school kids killing each other. Like, no joke. If you've not seen Battle Royale, go and watch it, dude. It's a banger. So I watched it with my son the other day, and that's where the Battle Royale term was coined from. So they've got to have it 100 because that's how we do it, man. 150? That's crazy. I mean, is the destruction going to be able to handle that many players? Like, they have limitations as well, like based on resources. I think a lot of them have been alleviated this time around because now you don't have the old gen consoles. There's no PlayStation 4. There's no Xbox One. So destruction-wise, with a lot of players on the map, they can get away with a lot more. But we've already seen, like, from Battle Royale leaks, that there is, like, entire building destruction, like, entire skyscrapers are going down. Then take into account you've got 100 players on there. I mean, if you put it up to, like, 150, are you prepared to lose 50 FPS for 50 more players? I'm not.
PLS, no religious refs, I'm an atheist.
Oh, well, thank you for the 2 there, Ronaldo. So am I, for the record. Right, guys. I think I've done everything that is required of me. I think we've covered all the news. I know some folks maybe got in here a bit late, but don't worry, you'll be able to go back and watch this after the fact to catch up with the stuff at the beginning of the video. Lopper is here. Battlefield 2042 is waiting. It's waiting to be uninstalled. So 978 hours and 48 minutes was quite enough time to spend in this game. I will say, I think DICE improved the game. It was a lot better. Like, I would say as a game... Lopper, you're so funny. As a game, it got to, like, an okay game. But as a Battlefield game, it just wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. And so with that said, it's time to say goodbye. Battlefield 2042, I'm sorry, but you will not be missed. Bye-bye. Oh. So liberating, man. Let us have 30 seconds of silence for the 4 years of our lives that we lost to Battlefield 2042. Shh. Okay. I think that's been 30 seconds. Lopper, you broke the unwritten rule. You spoke during the silence, man. You enjoyed 2042? That's fair, dude. That's fair. Like, I get it for people who came in. Oh my god. Ow, 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 ow. I understand for people who came in and, started playing the game after the fact, right? Once it had been improved. Like, that's fair, right? I can understand how you can come into the game and be like, this isn't that bad. What are people kicking up a fuss about? But I think the memories never fade. And really, if you go and play Battlefield 6 and then you go back to Battlefield 2042 and you compare them, and I'm not just talking about the way the game plays and the mechanics, but just like the overall, the atmosphere of the game, the feel of the game, just the enjoyment of playing it. That's what it really comes down to. BF6 is just so much better. And for the record, I don't think BF6 is like a 10 out of 10, like they did everything right. For me, I'd say it's, at the moment, at least from after having played the beta, I said it was around like a 7.5, which is still a good score. If they've improved a lot of stuff and the full release is better, I'll probably bump that up to like an 8.5. But it's not like a 10. It's still a hell of a lot better than Battlefield 2042, you know. I'm not trying to piss on anybody's bonfire or anything like that. But, yeah. If you're not playing anymore, free the space so you can have a new one. Indeed. Makes sense. Right, guys. With that said, thank you all for coming along. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the subs. It's been massively appreciated. I hope to see you all on Friday. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I think it will probably be a video. If there's anything to make a video about, I'll do a video. I might do another stream, though, just to hang out with you guys, because God knows we don't really have anything else to do.
Religious refs. Religion triggers me. I don't want any trillion in the chats from now on. PLS, Ghost.
Okay, cool, man. You really get offended by religion, apparently, Ronaldo. But thank you for the $5. Appreciated. I appreciated that. Yeah, what we're doing tomorrow, there may be a stream. If I don't really have anything to make a proper video about, I might just hang out with you guys in the chat. And obviously I can't play a Battlefield game because I've just uninstalled them. And I can't play Battlefield 6 yet. So what else are we going to do though, right? It's like the day before Battlefield 6. We're all just kind of be waiting anyway. On Friday, however, I will be going live as soon as Battlefield 6 launches. I think it's 3 p.m. in the afternoon for me. You guys will have to go and look at your own time. It's different also, you know, all over the world. And I will have the Twitch drops active. So, any of you guys who want to come along and say hi, massively appreciated. If you don't and you're busy playing the game, totally understand that. Totally get that as well. But I will be streaming for large parts of the weekend as well. So hopefully we'll touch bases, guys, and let each other know what we think about the game. All right. See you later, guys. Have a good one. Thank you for stopping by as usual.